Please confirm if my screen is visible and if I'm audible to you all. Okay, so let's start and we will be resuming Seaborn library. Yesterday we discussed a few plots using Seaborn and we'll be doing the same. So we will be seeing how many different types of plot are present there and how we can use different methods of Seaborn and Matplotlib together to visualize the data. So first, let's start by importing the necessary libraries. So we'll be using Seaborn today. We will be using Matplotlib, and we might use pandas. All right. So yesterday we got to know that Seaborn, it has some inbuilt data sets. And one such data set was tips. जिसके बारे में we did some visualizations. So the iris data set that we used earlier when we were exploring about pandas library. This data set, just a minute, guys. Amit, can you please lower your hand down? Okay, thanks. All right, so Iris is also present in Seaborn, and you guys can load it directly using the load dataset function. So this is the dataset. Okay, kind of similar. Sepal length, sepal width, petal length, petal width, and based upon that, we have a target column that is of species. If you want to plot this data, well, you can plot it, and this time we will be using line plot to do so. The drill is same. You need to provide the value for x-axis and y-axis. So for x, let's say I want to take sepal width, and for y, let's say I want to take petal width, and I want to plot the data between the two. You also need to provide the data parameter value. Let's change name of the data frame so that it's not confusing. And you can pass your data frame all together. And this is how your line plot will be plotted with the help of Seaborn. When you're looking at this plot, this is again more prettier as compared to the one that we do using Matplotlib. Isme you can see that there is also a default shading that you can see with your line. Okay, it is showing the trend that can be observed between petal width and sepal width. Okay. We very well know that we can use plt.show function here. And if you want to give labels from your side, you can use these functions. I guess it is sepal length. All right. So now the default value that was given to x-axis that has been removed. You can also well give the title to this plot using the title function that you guys all know about, petal versus sepal. And this is the title to your plot. Now here you can see that the ticks value that you have over here is ranging from 2 to 4.5. If you want to change the limit of either of these axes, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, then you can use plt.xlim function, either xlim or ylim for y-axis. And let's say I want to start from 3. You can see that instead of starting from 2, now my x-axis, it is starting from 3. And it is going till where? Going till 4.4. If you also want to define the upper limit, so you can do that as well. And here you can see that the lower limit is 3 and the upper limit is 6. Pehle lower limit, then upper limit. Similarly, you can do the same for y-axis also. You use the function plt.ylim and you can define a limit where it is starting from. Let's use lower limit as 1 and upper limit as 4. Okay, so this is your graph. Okay, you have changed the limits of your graph. Give me a thumbs up if till here everything is clear. There is no doubt with respect to xlim and ylim functions. All right. Now, there was one function that we forgot while studying matplotlib, and the function is known as style dot available. The function is plt dot style, and available is the attribute that this one has. So you can see that these are all the values, and each of these values, they correspond to a specific kind of style. If you want to use any of these stylings just before drawing your graph, you can use the function plt.style.use, and inside the inverted commas, you can mention whatever is the styling that you want to impart to your graph. So you can see that the color has changed. Now there is a grid available in my graph, which is a sort of grayish color. Also, these tick values, they were of black color earlier. Now they are also sort of grayish. This is because I have used a particular kind of styling that is called ggplot. If I want to change the styling, I can again select default, and this is the default styling that has been imparted to my graph. Any other kind of styling you want, these are the values available. कोई भी value you can put inside the function, और सभी graphs पे that styling will be applied. Once I use this style.use function, every other graph that I draw, it is going to get this kind of style only. Okay, so if I write ggplot here, every graph that I will draw after it, the styling will be ggplot to each and every graph. If you want to change it explicitly, then you have to mention this function again, और उसके बाद you can start writing your code. Okay, just a moment, guys. Okay, guys. So I was saying that until and unless you use the plt.style function again and you change the styling, जो स्टाइल आपने ऊपर प्रोवाइड किया है दैट ओनली विल बी इम्पार्टेड टू ईच एंड एवरी ग्राफ. और अगर आपको डिफॉल्ट स्टाइलिंग चाहिए, वेल प्रोवाइड द वैल्यू डिफॉल्ट एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टाइल विल बी अप्लाइड. Okay, this function, it can work with any graph of any type of any library. All right. A similar kind of function is also present in Seaborn. Let me just delete this part and let's get the code from above. And the function is known as setStyle. Okay, so there is a function, and this function, it takes four value: dark, white, and some kind of grid value. I'll tell you. So if you provide it, here you can see that no difference can be observed. Let me just remove these limits. See, if you now see that the background of this graph, it is of darkish color. Upar, if I look at my graph, the background was white. So by default, it is always white. Okay. And here you can see that the background, it is sort of dark. The values that you can provide here are dark, dark grid. Just a moment. Yes. So now you can see that the background, it is it is dark, and it is well in form of a grid. There is also white grid. So now the grid is of white background, and the lines of the grid, they are of grayish kind. So the values that you can provide here really are white, dark, dark grid, and white grid. All right. Give a thumbs up if this part about the styling is clear to everyone. All right. Let's have a look at few more graphs that you guys can draw using Seaborn. So we will be discussing about scatter plot first. So scatter plot wasn't discussed when we were using matplotlib, इसलिए से start करते हैं. It kind of looks like LM plot. So let's use the tips data set only to do this. तो उसके लिए you guys can load tips. So this is the data set that we were using yesterday. If you want to create a scatter plot on this data set, we have a function that is scatter plot. Matplotlib mein the function name is only scatter. Here the function name is scatter plot. Provide the value for x axis and y axis. So let's create a graph for total bill versus tips. And provide your data. This is your scatter plot. Now this graph, it serves the same purpose that LM plot was serving. That is, it shows a correlation between tip and total bill. तो जो चीज मेरे को उस ग्राफ से कन्वे हो रही थी, the same thing, it is conveyed from this graph as well. All right. So here you can see again that there is a positive correlation between these two values. You can also change the marker. So abhi the marker is a circle. The data points, they appear in a circular manner. If you want to change, you can change. You can also provide asterisk if you want them to be represented by star, and you can use a capital D for diamond. So styling is basic. जो styling criteria हम use कर रहे थे matplotlib में, it stands the same. You can use it. Again, the value parameter for hue is also present here. And if you want to convey the gender of your data with the help of the scatter plot, that too is possible. Okay. All right, so this is what scatter plot looks like, and you can also style it. So, like using all the functions that we used, you can either use a style function or you can use a set style function of Seaborn. Okay, this one or the other one of Matplotlib. I believe scatter plot समझ में आ रहा है सबको? Give a thumbs up if you guys are able to understand it. Okay. एक डेटा फ्रेम भी इंपोर्ट कर लेते हैं. तो students performance. We were working on it earlier as well. Now, let's talk about a very important graph. So, whenever you guys have a data and you need to understand what kind of distribution this data has. So, when we will talk about statistics and we will talk about probability, we are going to learn about probability distributions. Just where we have distributions like normal distribution, where we have standard normal distribution. Also, we have binomial and Gaussian and several kinds of distribution. So based upon what is the shape of your data, आपका data एक particular category में fall करता है, and what kind of distribution you have at your hand, उसके basis पे you can make some assumptions about the data. Okay, so if you know what kind of distribution your data represent, you can make some assumptions on that kind of data and it will help you to know more about that data. और कुछ algorithms में भी वो आपकी help करेगा. So to draw the data distribution, we use a function that is called distplot. So, and let's draw a distribution plot for math score. मेरे को देखना है कि math score का जो distribution है वो कैसा है. So for this data frame, let's use the math score column and plot it directly. This is how the distribution looks like. अब इस distribution को देख के मेरे को क्या चीजें convey हो रही हैं? I understand one thing, that the highest density of score, it is somewhere around this 60 to 80. 60 से 80 के बीच में the density of score, it is higher. I also get to see कि very few students, they have very less score. कि 0 से कम का मतलब 0 के अराउंड जो स्कोर है 0 to 20, very few students have scored it. Please don't go by this line. You can see that थोड़े थोड़े bars are present here. So what these bars are indicating कि सिर्फ एक दो students ही हैं जिनका marks are between 0 to 20. These students, these marks, they are outliers in your data. If I say कि अगर मैं बोल दूं कि this data जो outlier की form में है, if I remove this data, so you could observe or you could imagine that my graph, it would be symmetrical. Can you please give me a thumbs up if you understand this? कि अगर मैं ये data हटा दूं, क्योंकि my graph, it is leaning towards this side. And if I remove this data, my graph would be symmetrical. So what we want to achieve when we have a very large data, we want to achieve that that data, it should be symmetrical in some manner. Okay. And when it is symmetrical, it is called standard normal distribution. Okay. So जनरली स्पीकिंग, अगर मैं हाइट की बात करूं या मैं पूरी पॉपुलेशन के वेट की बात करूं या मैं आईक्यू की बात करूं, सो दीज डेटा दे टेंड टू बी नॉर्मली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. ओके. और ये जो डेटा होते हैं, if I have any kind of data in general and I'm able to see that this data is normally distributed, then I can transform it into standard normal distribution and I can make some assumptions about that kind of data. अभी overview के लिए we are going to understand this only. Later when we discuss about probability distributions, we'll have a look in detail about what these distributions are and what kind of assumptions can be made on them. All right. One thing that you can see that this plot, we are getting a warning here which says this plot is a deprecated function and will be removed in the future versions. So instead of this, you can use, I guess, this plot. And this is the graph that you get when you use distplot function. Okay. यहाँ पे the line of distribution, the curve that you were able to see, that is not present here. And you can clearly see that the marks which are representing the outliers in the data. If you want that curve to appear again, you can use a function that is parameter that is called KBE and set its value to. Okay, तो आपकी वो जो line है वो भी वापस आ जाती है. If you want to give a color, you can give a color. ओके. स्टाइलिंग अब आपको अच्छे से पता लग गई होगी कि कैसे करनी है. हर एक फंक्शन में देयर इज द पैरामीटर फॉर कलर and there is the styling functions that can be used all together on any kind of data. ठीक है. Distribution plot, are you able to understand? Yes, please give a thumbs up. Also एक चीज हम देख रहे थे कि there was a warning that was appearing right here. ठीक है. काफी सारे फंक्शंस ऐसे होते हैं जिसमें एक वार्निंग आएगी बट स्टिल द फंक्शन विल वर्क. जैसे दिस फंक्शन, इट हैज वर्कड डिस्पाइट द वार्निंग. बट इफ यू वांट कि आपके प्रोग्राम में व्हाटएवर फंक्शन यू यूज, इफ इट इज अ करेक्ट फंक्शन, तो वार्निंग डिस्प्ले ना हो. सो वी हैव a module for warnings. That module you can use warnings dot filter warnings and set the value as ignore. And when you do this, your warnings will disappear. कोई भी function हो, कैसी भी warning हो, warnings will not be appearing in the output. Okay. This is the value of ignore that you can provide and you can use filter warnings here. इसके अलावा भी काफी सारी values you guys can use. अगर आपको selective warnings को ही filter करना है, you can read a little bit about this module. Okay. Now let's talk about a very interesting concept in Seaborn, which is of pairplot. व्हाट इज दिस पेयर प्लॉट? ये क्या करता है कि आपके डेटा पे एज होल दिस कैन मेक सम प्लॉट्स एंड दे काइंड ऑफ अपीयर लाइक सब प्लॉट्स. Okay, तो छोटे छोटे plots based upon the whole data it is going to generate, and very easy to do this. So sns dot pair plot and pass your data. Okay, so here you can see that I get 9 graphs. किस किस के बीच में? टोटल बिल वर्सेस टिप, टोटल बिल वर्सेस साइज. ओके, इंडिविजुअली. कहीं पे हिस्टोग्राम्स है. You can see on diagonals I have histograms, otherwise I have scatter plot. Okay, so in overall visualization I'm able to achieve with help of this pair plot function. This function also has hue parameter, so if you want you can set the hue. Okay, and then it will start conveying information about the gender as well. Abhi, one thing that I will give you as homework, you can see that these pair plot, इसमें यहाँ पे I get scatter plot and on diagonal I'm getting histogram. Is there a way to decide, yeah, to specify which kind of graph appears at what position? Which means अगर मेरे को change करना हो, अगर मेरे को कोई specific graph ही बनाना हो, like I want a pie chart here or I want a uh, histogram here, a bar plot here, is it possible? Is there any way to do that using the pair plot function? Okay, so this is a little homework for you guys. Please give a thumbs up if you guys can understand it. Okay, let's draw a bar plot as well. So SNS dot bar plot is the function, and we are going to draw the bar plot on what is this data? DF. Let's draw it for race and ethnicity, and I'm going to check the for different set of groups that is available in my data set. I want to compare their math score. Okay, so race and ethnicity, and value for Y is math score, and beta is DF. This is the bar plot that we get. जो आप वहां पे when you were using matplotlib वहां पे like you had to do grouping and you had to do value counts. Here we have provided the data directly, and what did we get? We get for different groups what is the score in math subject. Okay, here also you can use the x function if you want to rotate your x. So all of these functions are available for your use. ऐसा नहीं है कि they were existing only in matplotlib और अब आप seaborn के charts के साथ इनको नहीं use कर सकते. All right. Now let's take a 2-minute break, and after the break we are going to continue and we will see what all different kinds of graph we can draw using seaborn. Okay, give me a thumbs up if everyone is ready for a break. All right, do we have everyone here? एक बारी please react. All right, let's do a simple task. Since all the plots in Seaborn are very easy to draw, I am providing a data set. And you will find a data set by the name of Starbucks drink menu. This is the data set that you will get. और इस data set पे you are going to tell me which beverage category has the highest number of calories. Let me write it over here. कोई भी plot you guys can draw to demonstrate this and provide me the code for it. I am dropping the data set on the drive right now. Just give me a moment. Yes, everyone, the data set is on the drive. Please access the data set and give me a thumbs up when you start attempting this question. Everyone who is thinking of attempting it, please react. Yeah, sure. I'll share the link to the. Please let me know if you are able to access the link. I think it is still not accessible. Give me a moment. I have dropped the data set in the chat box. Okay, use this one. React with a thumbs up once you start attempting. more minutes to complete it. Sure. The question is that you have to tell me which beverage category has the highest calories. In this data set, you have a column beverage category and you have a column about calories. You have to tell me which beverage category has highest number of calories. Use any plot of your kind of that you wish to use, and you can use Seaborn as well as Matplotlib. I prefer that you guys solve it using Seaborn, but अगर आप Matplotlib से भी कर रहे हो, no issue about it. Okay, just drop the code. हाँ पारस कोड भी दिखा दो प्लीज. Smoothies is the right category. This one has highest number of calories. Please drop the code as well. No, you don't have to tell the answer. We just learn about a visualization. Visualize it and then tell me. Anyone else, if they could do it, please drop the code. Acha, give me a thumbs up if you are not able to visualize it. Okay, this is what I got from Afan. Now, let's figure out what is wrong with this plot actually. Okay, one thing that I said that you can use any plot of your choice. Okay, well done with that. The code is correct, everything is fine. But if you can see that you have used distplot to show the relationship between a variable that is beverage category, which is of categorical nature, and calories, which is of numerical nature. Whenever you need to show a relationship between categorical and numerical data type, prefer using a bar plot. अभी this graph is conveying me something, but मेरे को calories का और calories की frequency मेरे को दिख रही है. ठीक है कि कौन सी कैलोरीज लाइक ज्यादा फ्रीक्वेंटली अकर हो रही है. मुझे ये नहीं पता लग रहा किस बेवरेज कैटेगरी में सबसे ज्यादा कैलोरीज है. Also got a code from Paras. Let's see if this one works. Again, Paras has used what? It is a scatter plot. Okay, let me just rotate the text. Here we have smoothies. Okay, so if we look at this graph, this is a scatter plot. And at least I'm able to see the categories here, the beverage category and the calories here. तो जो डेटा मेरे को represent करना था visually, that I'm able to see and I'm able to spot कि smoothies they have highest number of calories. ये इधर the data point for smoothies is present. ठीक है, but still prefer a bar plot when you guys are showing a relationship between categorical and numerical data. This one works well. This is fine, conveying the information that it should have. Okay, give me a thumbs up अगर समझ में आ रहा है what is wrong with this graph. Okay, also got a code from Paras again. Paras, are there some changes that you made? Acha, this is a bar plot. Okay. See this bar plot, it is not at all correct. I am able to see the mean. Okay, you have created a group by object for beverage category, slice the calories column and calculated the mean of all the beverage categories. Got a code from Afan. Same issue. I see different graph in my system. Okay, just send me a screenshot or a picture of it later if there is a different graph. Okay. Okay, let's see how you can create a bar plot for the same data. Abhi the data that we have, let's use Seaborn, so SNS dot bar plot, and I want to use beverage category. So let's use beverage category on x-axis. Yeah, this graph is okay. Afan, I guess in my system for Afan as well, this is not working. Is this for the same code, Afan? This is your code, right? इसी के लिए the visualization is this one. Okay, I'll check into it कि ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है. The picture that you have sent me, it is correct. Okay, so X पे beverage category, Y पे calories, and data is so this is the bar plot that we got using Seaborn. Ticks आप rotate कर देना. Abhi, what is the difference that you guys can observe from the plot that has been created using Seaborn? So this one is has been created using Seaborn. और Matplotlib का कोड किसी ने दिया था मुझे. This one is Seaborn and this one is also Seaborn. Try to draw the same graph, okay, using Matplotlib. Information same convey honi chahiye. Right now, you guys have not used Matplotlib. Use Matplotlib and then compare the code. Okay. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you guys understand all of it and if you are going to use Matplotlib to write the same piece of code later. Okay, not now, later. Please give a thumbs up. Okay, today we are going to end the class before time. Someone dropped the code for Matplotlib. Okay, this one has been generated using Matplotlib. Please have a look at this code as well. All right, so we'll be ending the session today. Tomorrow we will be discussing more of Seaborn and Plotly. This is the third library. This is much more advanced and gives more beautiful visuals than even Seaborn. Also, we will be talking about 3D projections आप 3D प्रोजेक्शंस किसी में भी बना सकते हो, मैटप्लॉटलिब में भी, सीबॉर्न में भी, प्लॉटली में भी, एंड देयर आर वेरियस अदर लाइब्रेरीज एज वेल. बट डिपेंडिंग अपॉन द टाइप ऑफ लाइब्रेरी यू आर यूजिंग, आपके प्रोजेक्शंस उतने ही एनहांस्ड या फिर लेस एनहांस्ड होंगे. ओके, सो वी विल बी dealing with these two things mostly tomorrow. Also, there is a library that I earlier kept for optional content, that is Folium. But since we have a lot of time left to complete this week, we will be learning a little bit about Folium as well. And we will be covering web scraping and generators in the forthcoming days. This is the syllabus for the remaining days of this week. Okay. There is a request from my end to all of you guys. Please fill the form. अभी भी 4 ही लोगों ने fill किया है for Saturday session. I have to make a decision regarding it. And there will be a data set for Shark Tank India in the drive. Please tell me if you guys are able to spot that data set. Later you can text me regarding it. और इस डेटा सेट पे यू हैव टू यूज ऑल द लाइब्रेरीज दैट आई हैव टॉट सो फार. थोड़ा अपने पार्ट पे भी यू गाइस कैन रिसर्च एंड यू हैव टू विजुअलाइज द इम्पोर्टेंट इन्फॉर्मेशन दैट दिस डेटा इज कन्वेइंग. इनसाइट्स भी लिखनी है, सब कुछ करना है. यू कैन गिव मी द कोड बाय दिस weekend, okay, by Sunday or by Monday. Give me a thumbs up if this is understandable to you. Please fill the form. That is a request. Please fill it by today, okay? All right, we are going to end the session now. You guys are free to leave. Please stay if you have any doubt that you want to discuss.